And so we're now going to have all the pitches. We have 6 teams that have been working excessively on their topics. And I think this time it's even way more difficult than normally because it's only virtual, and now you all even have to present on your computer, which some of you might have not done before. So I'm really excited about how it's going to work out. And so we were first having our judges, and I'm quite impressed, really impressed by who we have. And I really would like you to present yourselves. So maybe Sylvia, would you like to start?
Yes. Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. And my name is Silvia Vallota. I'm CMO and Global Network Expert at StepTech Park, an innovation hub that is focused on accelerating startup with reducing the CO2 emission into the atmosphere. And I would like to deeply thank the Unleash team for making this wonderful event possible this weekend, and for asking me to participate as member of the jury. Thank you.
Thank you. And now Laura, maybe?
Yes, good evening to everyone. I am Laura Cavalli. I am a senior researcher and project manager at Fondazione Enrico Mattei, where I lead a little research group on Agenda 2030 and Sustainable Development. And also I am SDSM, so the Sustainable Development Solution Networks Manager for Italy. I thank again everyone for the organization and the great opportunity to be here. So have a great event again.
Thank you, Laura. And now Giovanni.
My mic was mute. Hi, everybody. Thank you for inviting me to Unleash. I am a university professor at LUMSA University in Rome. I deal with sustainability issues since many years. And 4 years ago, we started a journey which is still going on, which is the Mastering Management of Sustainable Development Goals, which graduated 50 sustainable managers, 50, from 32 different countries in the first 3 editions. And we were one of the first experiences of this kind around the block, and I'm really eager to listen to the pitches.
Thank you very much, Giovanni. And then finally, Valerio.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for inviting me as well. My name is Valerio Michale, and I'm a manager at the Climate Policy Initiative, which is a team of analysts and advisors that work to improve energy and land use policies around the world, with a particular focus on climate finance. I've been working a lot, in particular, on the effectiveness of climate policies, as well as a financial instrument into increasing investment in low-carbon climate resilient projects, and also being engaged into the Global Innovation Lab for Climate Finance, been developing the methodology there and the criteria for the approval of innovative financial solutions, which also target the ambitious objective to increase investment into the sector. So again, thanks for the invitation. I look forward to hearing the pitches.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to your feedback, and I think everybody here can be really glad that you are getting feedback from such great judges. So we are going to the judging criteria now, which I have presented a couple of times, but I will do it again. So the first criteria is innovation, and it includes the desirability, and it's really about the problem framing you've done mainly yesterday, but also today. So they are looking at that. And then the second criteria is the impact potential. So regarding the SDG, how much impact on the SDG does your idea have? So that's the second criteria. And then the third criteria is a combination of viability. So is it a profitable solution, and feasibility, which means is it technically feasible? And all 3 of them have a 30% scoring share. And then the team performance, which is actually also very important, has only 10%, but it will they will look at, so can you as a team convince them to care about the problem you've come up with? So that will be the criteria you will be judged by. And then I heard from Dalia that you even offered that you're writing more about the context of your judging score. So that's really great. Thank you so much for that. So then we'll kick off soon. So as we discussed earlier, you have 3 minutes per team and you will be cut off after 3 minutes. And then the judges have 5 minutes where they can ask you questions. We will also look here on the timing that it doesn't take too much longer than 5 minutes. So we are staying on time. And so now team 3, and we've really done that randomly. Make yourself ready because you're the first team that's going to pitch. And the next team after you is team 5. So you can already prepare that you're then quickly after the team number 3. I will always say when we are starting the next team who will be next, so you won't know until we will call your name. And Hardy, he has prepared very nice signs, so he will show you a sign when you have only 1 minute left. And just as a side comment for those who present, maybe you put a timer next to you on your mobile phone or something, so that also you keep a track of the time. And then when you only have 30 seconds left, it will show you another sign with the 30 seconds on it. And then if the time is over, we will play an alarm and really harshly cut you off. So just be prepared for this. And then will come the questions. So are there any questions from your side regarding this? No? Then I think we can start pitching. I will stop sharing. I think I have to stop that here.
Sorry, Angela. Please make sure that you can see my screen so that I can actually show you the time.
I can.
For the presenting team. So team number 3, please make sure that you can see my image.
Yes, I can.
Okay. All right.
So you're gonna turn the slides?
No, you're gonna operate the slides, and I'm gonna tell you when to start.
Okay, perfect.
You ready?
Yes.
Okay, go.
So Team Roman Job presents La Dolce Acqua. This is the situation in Rome today. Water is plentifully available. It's abundant. It's safe to drink. It's public. It's clean. It's people could drink it from their taps, but they have trust issues, and there's no transparency in what's the quality of water. And so people prefer to buy bottled water as a habit. And why do they do it? We take, for example, Luca's mother. Her name is Piera. She goes to the supermarket fighting traffic and pollution, and she goes to buy the bottled water because she thinks it's designed for her needs, and it's better than the tap water. And she would rather go and take her car and go to the supermarket and carry the heavy bottles and pollute with the plastic of the bottles because she doesn't trust the transparency of the tap water. But Luca, her son, has a better idea. So the Dolce Acqua service, it's a service that allows you to buy a filter every 3 months that is connected to an app to your phone that collects water data on the water pressure, water quality, the lime scales in your water, the all information. And you can also use flavor tabs to make your water more mineral or taste like bergamot or effervescent. And you can also have an extra fixing and maintenance service for the filter and for your water pipes. It's based on a subscription model. It gets delivered to you, and you need to return your old filter to get a discount on a new filter. How does it work? This is the filter design. Francesca, I think you're mute. Francesca.
Sorry, I was muted. Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry, completely crashed it. So it's designed in 3 steps. The water comes through at the top as tap water, and it goes through step 1, step 2, and step 3, which cleans it. Everything is connected through a silicone facet. There is at the bottom a colored ring, which has different lights and gives you different color. Everything is then contained into a glass container, which makes everything reusable and recyclable. The comparison of prices. So you have our product costs 15 euros every trimester, which makes it 60 annually. However, bottles of water cost €300 annually, which is a very big difference in price. This is a service. It's different to what has been offered before because it's a service. It offers a collaboration and a community sharing environment. Our goal is to produce less plastic and less waste. We have less CO2. It's scalable, as you can see. Could go globally, and we have a partnership that we consider between Acea, university, and research councils. Thank you.
Thank you, Francesca.
Sorry, I couldn't talk because of my muted microphone.
Good job.
Good job.
Thank you very much.
Now we hand it over for the judges for questions. You have 5 minutes, judges.
I have one question regarding the filter. I think it looks has quite interesting potential. I just offer my parents a Brita to try with tap water instead of bottled water. So it's very, very close to my concerns. So my question was about how often do you need to replace the data filter, the one that provides data through the app? Like, does this need to be replaced as well?
So what we're offering with the ring collects the data and then transfers it to your phone. So there is an app that's attached to it. The ring needs recharging every 4 days. So you once you open it, it's a USB connector. So you disconnect it, it's a USB, you attach and recharge it. But there's also an option in that case for people not to use it, because there is still people concerned about data usage and their own privacy. So you can choose whether to have the ring, which has also colors and obviously tells you how much water you're using. So we propose 2 colors. We have orange and yellow. Yellow tells you that it's telling you that you're using the average amount of water, while once it goes to orange, it's telling you that you've went above. We didn't want to use red because that's a bit too much. So we just thought we'd use those 2 colors, but the entire ring is rechargeable.
Can you please reiterate what is the major change with respect to what is already available in terms of water filters that you can buy normally?
Yes,
Yeah.
we wanted to build a community. I don't know if you know the startup called Wise Air. They give you like a plant that collects data about your air in the city, and then there's like the distributed network of people that have this plant, and then it allows them to collect all this data. And we want to do the same with the tap water, because then it allows people to understand the quality of their tap water through the filter. So it's not just a filter for water, but it's also allowing you to be part of a community through the community that you see in the app, all the people that adopt the filter together with you, and also to understand where there are the major issues with water in a city like Rome. And it allows Acea, so the water provider, to fix them, because we would have a collaboration partnership with them so that they get our data and we have like an exchange, like an agreement that we work for them.
How could you convince the general public to change from the plastic bottle? Because that's something really interesting. I mean, researchers, universities, it's one thing. General public is another one.
So the idea is to start with like the young people in the universities that convince their parents and the elderly. And also the idea was to make it funnier with like these tabs that make your water like flavored or effervescent. So adding something that, because it's not just the fact that bottled water tastes better, but you have like more variation. And so like if you have a soda stream, for example, you can fizz your water, you can make it cola flavor, but then also like this is like it's a liquid concentrate. And then if you have these water tabs, it's also playful. It's like a candy, you throw it in your water after cleaning it. And so it's this whole idea of making it playful by convincing the younger generation, which is already sold on the fact that plastic is bad. And then through that, going to their parents and grandparents.
Just one question regarding your possible revenue stream. You are thinking to have the 15 euros per trimester, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Plus selling the data
exactly
to the utilities, correct?
So the user pays for the filter, while our partners that need the data pay for the data. Yes. So it's
But the partner, Asha, will also be interested in this product because they want their water to be used more. Currently, the tap water being used to drink, it's very low, especially in Rome. It's about 1 to 2%. That means that people are not purchasing their water from them effectively. So if you make this filter available, then the company is also more incentivized in using it.
Okay.
Yeah, there's also been a lot of bad advertisement because the water reservoir was too overutilized, and so they took the water from the Thames River, from the Tiber River, but then people didn't trust it. So if you can measure it, you can trust it.
What's the cost for the filter and the maintenance cost?
The idea is that you pay a subscription model. Each filter comes every 3 months and it's 15 euros, and then you should give back the old one to get the new one. Otherwise you would pay more. I think we can, the price of the filter can lower, depends on how many people adopt it and depending on what's the deal for data with Acea. And then you would have extra pricing for the tabs, flavor tabs, and for the consultancy model. For the expert that comes to help you fix.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So maybe we can clap because no.
Thank you.
You hear it. So the next team is team 5 and team 2. Please get ready. How do you tell them when they start, right?
Yes, team 5, who's going to present?
Let me just share my screen.
Yes. Okay. When I give you the go. All right. Go.
Did you know that Italy is the biggest consumer of bottled water per capita in the EU? Surprised? So we were. My team and I, the rebels, decided to do something about it. Noting that this consumption decreased during the COVID emergency by 14.3% for still water and 3.5% for sparkling water, we thought that this must be the lesson learned from the COVID pandemic and work on resetting our habits, fighting for SDG 13 climate change. On our research for the users, eventually we decided to build for the future and looked for how to influence the youngest customers, youth between 14 and 15 years old, starting to have their own money, choosing their own products to buy. We thought about youth because we thought on intervening on transitions, financial independence, as youth are shaping their own identities and as they are rebellions. We introduce you to Aquamania. This is our product. It's a new concept for a forever personalized bottle, saving millions of plastic waste. Aquamania targets school students who can now have their own reusable bottle covered by a thermal fabric cover on which they can have their customized avatar printed and inspired by a value theme. They can portray themselves as a football player, as a singer, for example, or simply as a cartoon version of themselves. On the cover, a note will mention, this bottle helped save 900 plastic bottles, creating direct awareness for the user himself and to whoever sees the bottle, such as the parents, family, or any other member. Having the bottle would generate a sense of belonging, as it is to be sold in schools, half sponsored by subsidies or the school itself. The bottle has a filter that helps reduce the fear of tap water, is hygienic since everyone has his own bottle and can keep it clean, washing it at home, and has a ticker that helps the user tick for every time they refill their own bottle, reminding them to stay hydrated and in a good health. So concerning the impact and the SDGs, we are directly targeting the climate action. We are trying to improve education and awareness around the SDGs, also SDG number 3 and SDG number 6, same for SDG number 14. Our business model is that this experience, we are selling an experience. They can customize their avatar. It's user designed. They can add their own personalized stuff. And it's also sponsored by subsidies. On our long-term plan concerning the scalability, we will start with public schools, then to private schools, then to universities, companies, until we reach one reusable bottle to free Italy from its plastic bottle addiction, and potentially in the future expand to other countries. Now we are ready to pitch Aquamia for the Ministry of Education in Italy to introduce this in schools. Can you please link us?
Thank you, Cynthia. Time is quite fine on time. You still have 4 seconds. I leave it now to the judges. 5 minutes. And yes.
So just one question. Are you planning to reach the target through the schools, not directly? And do you think that this might be a threat for your actual business? You know, the time of response sometimes can be very, very slow and unpredictable. Are you thinking about a plan B to reach your target?
Yes, I don't know who wants to respond. I was going to say.
Go, don't worry.
I was going to say that I guess there could be different modes, different sales tactics. So we could have one tactic as trying to reach a partnership with the education authority. Another tactic, another option can be trying to sell directly to the consumer or through shops that cater to young people, or also a supermarket, grocery store. So yeah, there are several options. Of course, the easiest way to distribute the bottles would be through an education authority, but also direct to consumer is another option, yeah.
For me, is sorry, just a question on the product innovation. So how different it is from alternative options that are out there? If you could just reiterate this a little bit more clearly.
Yes, because this bottle should provide an included filters that can be, that is based on the one already available, for example, for the coffee machine that you just put on the water. And then so we can reutilize this kind of technology already in the market and include it in a small filter inside the bottle. And then it also have a short cost if we think about that. We can change these filters about 3 times years, more or less every 20,000 liters filtered. And then, yeah, this will be our innovation. I mean, to reuse what already have in a different way.
May I ask what you envisage as a as the end of the life cycle of these bottles? What happens when they are run out?
So yeah, a decision needs to be made if the bottles would be made from glass, from plastic, from metal, and which metal, which type of plastic. We started our whole project trying to reduce the amount of plastic used. So ideally, perhaps from a metal that could be recyclable, such as perhaps aluminum. Of course, there are other health questions about aluminum, but I think we would have to research to find the best material, the safest material, and one that could be recycled at the end of life. Yeah.
And whatever material we're going to choose, definitely it's going to be recycled at the end of its life cycle.
Yeah, and one other thing about the personalization, so the covers can also be changed. We thought that as the children get older, maybe they want a different avatar, they want a different celebrity, someone to appear. And so we would also make the covers using a recyclable material.
How much, sorry, can you hear me? Yeah. Which is the cost of the filters or the bottle? So.
Okay, let me think. A box of 3 filters is about 8 euros now on the market. So for the families will be a very small price compared, for example, to all the money gives to teenagers and child during the week. And maybe cooperation between a sponsor and, I don't know, schools can pay part of the cost to cover the tap water available at school. Yes, and I would also add that it's very easy to convince the consumer to buy it, because if they are used to buy, let's say in a week, 5 times a non-reusable plastic bottle, they can save the money they are paying during this week, like let's say 5 times the price of a non-reusable bottle to buy a bottle that can last forever. So they would be thinking on the long-term plan, and they would invest in something that is more logical. and saving money, of course.
Thank you very much, team number 5. Thank you very much, judges.
Thank you to you.
I'm clapping. No,
Can you please stop sharing your screen? Okay, and now we leave it to team number 2.
Yeah, the team number two, and then get ready, team number 6.
Okay,
We're
we
going
are
to be
ready.
presenting in team number 2.
Yes.
Okay.
So Tessa is sharing, and I will present. So go to presentation mode, please, Tessa.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Go ahead, Mattia.
Hi, everyone. This is Group Diverdiamoci and Team 2. We have been working on the transportation issues and the emissions and pollution in Milan. What happens in Milan is that there is a well-developed and perceived as an efficient and well-developed system for public transportation, and in the center of town and in Milan itself. But the interconnection within Milan and the interland is poor. In fact, people still prefer to own their own cars. Milan has the second highest rate of owning cars in Italy. So every inhabitants own 0.5 cars in Milan. So despite having a good transportation system, they own the car. Why? Because there is a lack of attractive, sustainable alternatives to gasoline and fuel-propelled cars, and there is, let's say, an infrastructure which is not used. It is not used enough. One slide back, please. So a quick win, carpooling be more attractive, and where we want to focus it is to the user. We were showing before. The user is the medium income Milan worker who has to go to work every day, and who is not interested actually in a sustainable way of moving. He is way more focused on his own cash flow and let's say on enjoying nightlife. So with this user profile, we have to give a solution which is more comfortable and easier. So next slide, please. And our solution is to convince this actor to be more interested in carpooling. So these are the actors who have to participate in our system. So a carpooling company, an electric car manufacturer, workers, and Milan partner companies. So the pooling company will put advertisements on the car, and the companies who are part of the community will be happy of rewarding the workers who will use the carpooling. Okay, so the workers will use the carpooling because they will be rewarded, and the companies will be happy of financing the carpooling because there are advertisements on the cars. So the cycle is closed, and do you
very much, Mattia.
Thank you for the 5 seconds more.
Thank you, Mattia. We're going to leave it now to the judges.
Yes, in this particular moment, how can we, try to push the idea of carpooling?
We want to actually make this community would be based on electric vehicles, which will be bought and commonly used by the whole community. So the companies, and also which are part of the community, and also the carpooling company. And the idea is that since there is this COVID situation, there will not be cars with many people inside the car. Okay, but we need to make the situation be better in emissions, of course. So what we want to, the direction we want to take is electric vehicles, since they are going to be financed, and since Milan is investing a lot on it. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Mattia, oh, sorry. Mattia, what's your really unique selling proposition? I mean, there are a few startups working in this sector and try to improve the carpooling industry. There is also a nice startup in Italy that is doing the same with the incentive for biking use in the city. That is really probably
the unique selling point, I think, is the fact that this is local. This creates a community which is local. If you think about BlaBlaCar, for example, you will see that in BlaBlaCar, the advertisements are made by big companies, okay? So the community you create within this app, which is local, is something that is thicker and should be stronger, because all the actors are inside, and all the actors earn from being part of the community.
I have a question
about how to park these cars when they reach some center of town, supposedly.
Yes, well, actually, we have been focusing more, I have to be honest, on the part of knowing who are the actors and who have to be part of the cycle. Okay, and the advertising parts, and also the, let's say, social part. So I mean social. So for example, Instagram and this kind of part. But on recharging columns available, we have to trust the Milan community, the Milan municipality, to increase the number of charging points, and also I think we can cooperate with them in order to develop it more. Also, of course, the app should include you should know, thanks to the app, how much you can use the car, and where is the closest charging point.
So for what regards the parking lots, since we are specifically also, since we thought also about companies that have maybe big headquarters near Milan in the hinterlands, or maybe also in the center of Milan, those companies usually have parking lots. So instead of having maybe 4 parking lots occupied, you could also only have 1, because since you used the car sharing service, you would have like a special place where to put them, like Enjoy has, for example, in the central stations.
I have a question regarding, I think it's very similar to the one that Laura asked, like how do you address competition with your main competitor, which is smart working, and the value proposition that smart working is quite similar to the one you proposed, which is community spirit, because smart working to some extent
thank you very much for the question. Thank you very much for the question. Maybe I was not too clear explaining the user. The user we are targeting is the cook, is the doctor, is a person who has to go to work physically. And also think about the fact that smart working is not a solution that will be 100%. I want to go 50% of my time to the office in order to create social, relations.
Thank you, Mattia. Thank you, team number 2.
Thank you, everybody.
So next, team 6 is next, and then get ready, team 1.
Team 6, who's going to be presenting?
Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Ready?
Go.
Okay. Hi, I'm Lorenzo, and here on behalf of Team 6, and we are mobility hackers. Why this name? Because yesterday, actually, we found out that Italy main polluter, main emission of greenhouse gases is transportation. And we found out that one of the main reasons of this high number of emission is the fact that Italians do not use public transportation too much. So we try to understand what are the reasons, and mainly the two most important reason of this not usage are the fact that the service is usually as poor quality, and that the car is the highly preferred means of transportation, and this is causing a lot of problem, especially for green emission. So what we also pointed out is the fact that right now COVID-19 actually worsened the situation, since more people are less encouraged to use public transportation when they have to go work, and for problem of being afraid of getting sick. So when we did this analysis, we started to focus on a much located area, and we started to focusing on the metropolitan area of Napoli, and actually on the problem that are facing the commuters that actually has to go work from their surroundings to the city of Napoli as bricklayers and for example call center and other kind of workers. The real problem is that right now, with this vicious circle, people are not using anymore public transportation, but they're just trying to use cars, since the social distancing measures are not enough. And our solution is to actually try to improve the use of public transportation through Smart Mobility in Napoli. That is a digital platform that basically is an app that will work in a similar way of Move It. So we'll have the integrated comparison of all the prices and all the public transportation routes, but will give also the possibility to the workers to buy the tickets in order to plan in a better way and avoid overcrowding. In this way, we think that we can impact the greenhouse emission, because we will, even with few people that will switch from public transportation, there will be less car in the street, and this will means less impact on greenhouse gases, also thanks to the decrease of traffic. But we think we need still to elaborate our platform, so we were looking for an accelerator.
Thank you, Lorenzo.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I leave it to the judges right now.
Well, if nobody else has a question, I do have a question. Now you're looking at the prices, you're looking at some components, but one of perhaps the main problem is how to overcome the lack of predictability of whether public transport is working or not. And I'm referring to Rome where I live, but also Naples. And can you track also the timing of the public transports that are available through your apps?
Okay, I'll go to answer. Yes, the main, of course, what we have seen is like a vicious circle. So since less people are using public transportation, there is no funding because they are not getting profit. Thanks to this app, we would like to gather data of people that are using public transportation, and in order to use it and forecast like the peak, especially the peaks of usage, and also adapt the schedule and the timetables. I don't know if I answered your question.
maybe he was asking if the app will be capable to track the single bus, for example.
Exactly,
I don't know if
exactly.
Yeah, of course. I mean, technologically, it is possible. Of course, we would require the implementation of tracking devices on buses, for example. I mean, in most transport systems, public transport systems, actually, there are already tracking systems on vehicles. But the case of Naples is weird because it's very difficult to find information about it. So of course, it's a condition for this service, but that wouldn't be actually that large of an effort, because as our facilitator Mario once suggested, you can also track the driver's smartphone, for example.
Do you think your solution is also scalable and replicable to other cities in Italy that culturally are very, very different from Naples?
Yes, actually, I think it's much easier to implement it in other city than in Naples, that has quite a digitalization problem. But I think that if a good model, a good platform is being created, you just need the main point is to establish a relationship with the public transportation companies that usually are public. So it's very difficult to get this the possibility to sell their tickets. But the model is very scalable, in my opinion.
Okay. But don't you think that probably the main problem is the lack of enough transportation?
Exactly.
Transportation?
The same question. Yeah.
Yes, that's clearly a problem, and the problem is that there are certain period of the time where there is a lack of public transportation where it should be needed, and other times that where actually no one uses. So that's why we think that improving this approach that is more data driven can help the government and the public transportation company to forecast when is better to have more rides. Of course, this is also a problem that has to be approached of the frequency and the reliability of the public transportation service.
And it's also about the vicious circle. So the one that we pinpointed. So less users lead to a worse service. Even if a few users begin to use the public service, then the public service will be induced to improve the service. It's a slow process.
Leonardo, is the app for free for the user? Or,
yeah, it has to be. I mean,
so what's your revenue stream? Advertisement only?
The revenue stream for yeah, of course, it will be advertising or I mean maybe public funding or European funding.
Team number 6, thank you very much. Thank you very much, judges, for your questions and input. Now we leave it for yes, let's clap. Team number 1.
Hello, everyone.
Yara, you'll be presenting.
Yep. You should be able to see my screen now.
Yes.
Perfect.
Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so hello, everybody. I'm speaking on behalf of Team 1, and we are going to start with a question for you. So have you ever considered how many offices are still open and consuming energy, despite we are all working from home, or well, almost of us? So most of the offices in Italy use a central heating system, but as of now, only 20% of workers are in the office every day due to the COVID-19 widespread. For 58% of workers, smart working will continue into 2021. In this uncertain situation, companies are rethinking the management of their offices. And that's why we at New Normal Space have prepared a dedicated web app for an efficient office management that we are going to show you in a few. So think of yourself as a facility manager. So you need to manage the offices in these uncertain times. And in order to help you doing your job, we thought about this web app where you can insert the number of employees, the preferred smart working arrangement, in this case, 3 days per week, the office space, the total office seats available, and also upload the office energy report. Next step, you'll have the chance to have a look at different reports. For example, a report on the workplace capacity that will let you have a look at the existing workplace capacity, which can change due to the existing and ever-changing norms. You can also have a look at the potential energy savings, so eventual blind spots and so on and so forth, and a couple of other reports like CSR report, energy saving report, and much more to come. What is the object of this web app overall is to help you making use of space in the most efficient way. So we also thought about leveraging the meeting rooms that as of now are not used by most of the employees to help schools that do not have enough classes, that help schools actually using leveraging social distancing. But we can also think about the development of green offices, which, as the research show, help the staff well-being. And also, if you want to invest your money, revise your energy heating and cooling system. And that is all for us. If you have any questions, we are here for you.
Thank you, Chiara. Right on time, exactly on time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now I leave it for the judges for your questions.
Yeah, my question is about the, thank you for the presentation, first of all, like the revenue model that you plan for this app.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
Sorry, the revenue model you plan for this app to make it financially sustainable.
Yeah, sure. So we're actually thinking about selling ourselves in the market as a consulting company, which can help companies manage better their offices. And we thought about different kind of services in order to accommodate offices and facility managers' needs, depending also on the office size.
Just a quick question. Is not the app that says where you have to put people in a room or what to do? Is it correct? So yeah. I expect a kind of app that says I have 500 employees that tomorrow want to come and stay in my office. I mean, yeah. in our buildings. So how can I manage these? Or the day after tomorrow, nobody will come. So I need to know where to put maybe an external people or person, or to save money with respect to the cooling or heating system. Is it something that this app could do or not?
Yeah, we thought about that, and it's pretty related to the, as you said, energy savings matters, because if you can like imagine, I don't know, a medium-sized open space where you can like accommodate 20 employees with maintaining the social distancing of 1 meter between them, and like manage their locations, maybe integrating the web app with interactive maps of the office.
Can I compliment? So
yeah, sure, of course, feel free.
So on the question of the scheduling of the workers, actually, like the app itself, so this is kind of the minimum viable product, but it will respond to the needs. Of course, this is just to give you a quick snapshot. It's really easy to use. You have an overview in 10 minutes, but of course, like the scheduling is responsibility of the companies. If there are requests, it's not so hard to put it inside the app, but then we need to find out later how much request there is actually, and how much benefit there is for us to manage such a feature.
Have you tested whether there is demand for such an app?
So we actually interviewed a couple of workers from a couple of companies, so Enel and PwC, so consulting firm and energy service provider, and not about the app is per se, but we found really the need, like they were talking about the need and this uncertainty of how the smart working arrangement will be managed inside. For example, the person from Enel was saying that now there are like around 20% of people that are going there, and it's very strict, and they're already thinking ahead, and they calculate that like they will have like some office space that will not be necessary because probably there will be some smart working arrangement ongoing even after the pandemic, because I guess we are in a kind of turning point. So we did a couple of interviews.
What's your target? Big corporation? And because I know for sure that some of them have already had this kind of tool, maybe not an app, but this kind of tool of managing smart working, managing the presence of the employees in the building, in the company building.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So we target the big corporation actually, because it's where we can have the most impact on the SDGs. Of course, like other like SMEs are free to use them as well. But so like what we thought is that like if you're a facility manager, what you do, like you use the internal tools or the Excel sheet, right? So it's very bulky, and this is really like an immediate first thought that you tool that you can use, and it gives you like a really quick snapshot, and then you can decide to apply actually other tools that can go deeper. So we offer just a quick snapshot.
Team number one, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your input. And that leaves us, yes, let's clap everyone. That leaves us with team number 4. Who's gonna present from team number 4?
That's me. Hi everyone. If you give me just a second, I'm trying to share my screen. Okay, do you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Just a moment, because I don't see you now. Okay. Okay, yes, I am. Just, no, wait a moment. I need my, okay. Okay, yes.
Ready?
Okay.
Go.
Okay, this is our team, the Energetics, and this is the name of the solution we are proposing today, Origin E or Origine. The question that we have for you is, have you ever wondered where your electricity comes from? Well, actually, Luisa, she's a university student. She just moved to her new apartment for university in the Lecce city of Puglia. And she's an environmental activist, and she really cares for the environment. And she wants to have the guarantee to find an electricity provider that can guarantee green energy and also local energy to her. Unfortunately, she has been looking through the different websites, and she seems to find only greenwashing information. So she's very desperate at the moment, but luckily she calls her friend Marco, who is also living in Lecce and is another environmental activist as well. And Marco has recently found this newly released app called Origin E or Origine, which essentially is the app that tells you where your electricity comes from. If you are in Puglia, you can select the list of electricity providers in your region, Essentially, you can just click on the first one, just as an example, and you can access a list of indicators. These indicators will tell you, first of all, the origin of the electricity that they will be providing you, and they will also furnish you a map with all the different plants where the electricity they are providing comes from. Either it's a wind power plant or a solar plant or maybe an hydro plant. Also, you can have access to other indicators in terms of avoided carbon emissions, in terms of avoided pollutants emissions like PM10 or also NOx. You will have access also to the list of local suppliers that the providers are accessing to, but also you can have access to the new green jobs created thanks for the uptake of the renewable energy plants in your local area. But according to Marco, there are so many additional indicators that are very user-friendly. So Marco, thanks to the use of this app, essentially switched his long-term electricity provider A, to provider B because he discovered that the performance was very, very low. So essentially also Lisa was able to switch to company A, and we believe that apart from single users, also companies, large companies can benefit from these services so that they can reach their targets of the Paris Agreement. Sorry, I know.
Thank you very much, Francesca. Right on time. Now we leave it for the judges for your questions.
Francesca, the data are coming directly from the energy provider, and how frequent you ask for? You ask daily the energy composition because it's changing.
Yeah. So the data will come from Terna. This is what we have in mind, because if they come from the electricity providers, we feel that it's a state-owned company, and essentially we know that the information is already tracked at the moment and is easily accessible to the electricity provider. But unfortunately, they don't include this information directly into the contracts as well as in the billing information. So we know they are buying this certificate of origin of the electricity, renewable electricity produced. Supplied, but unfortunately there's no way for the consumers to access this information, or maybe it's accessible in the contracts but in a very small note, you know. So we were thinking, I hope I answered your question, but basically we feel that Terna is tracking the information.
Sorry. Go, Valerio, please.
Okay, thank you. So I have two questions. One is, how do you get the user to use the app? So what is the motivation for him, her? And then what is, again, the revenue model? So what happens after the user switches to another provider? So how do you make sure that you get enough support financially?
Okay. So in terms of motivation, first of all, the app will be 100% free. In terms of the basic indicators, and then if the users, the consumers would like to have access to additional information and additional services, we can provide them with a premium kind of service. So what they will motivate them, of course, this is for free, but there is also evidence in Italy. We have some statistics available that more and more people are concerned with the environment in their local area, and this awareness is increasing also after the impact of COVID-19. So we feel that if actually the consumers are able to select the electricity providers according to the renewable energy production that they can guarantee you, then actually, since the price difference is not so big compared to the different providers, they will be motivated to select the one with the highest guarantee of full green electricity. So we feel that this can help them to differentiate their services. And especially among the younger population, we feel that this can be, I mean, the motivation will be easily granted. Of course, this is one of the assumptions because this is going to affect behavioral change of the users. But in terms of the financial incentives, as I mentioned, all the consumers at the moment don't have access to a list of information. So this is not a transparent system at the moment. And we hope to fill this gap essentially.
Yeah, I have just a quick question about the education that is needed before that part, because you said that you know that some young people start thinking about in environmental friendly terms, but I think that there is a lack of education on that. So before this part, I think that this is needed.
We were actually hoping to include not only just basic kind of indicators, because many people don't even know what PM10 or what NOx are, right? So we were hoping to translate this directly into some tangible kind of effects in terms of, you know, number of lives saved because of better air quality, or number of natural biodiversity species protected, and other kind of positive impact on the environment that are more easily accessible to, you know, to the masses essentially. So we would like to translate the indicators into a concrete effect.
Jessica, thank you very much. Thank you very much, team number 4.
And
judges, thank you very much.
I can hand back over to me. I will just share my screen, but what I really would like to say is, hopefully you can see my screen. Given the fact that the last team we actually signed up for the ideation phase was signed in 2.5 hours ago, and you really managed to do a presentation and it was all fine. So I'm quite impressed also that we only had 2 days, including team building and including all the presentations we had to give to you, which we usually do in a week. So I think everybody should go on unmute, and we should give a big round of applause to everyone, also to the judges. Thank you so much for these great questions. Yeah, I wish we would have been here all 2 days long. It was really a pleasure. So please, like, everybody unmute. And I really like the applause thing, so you couldn't hear you. So please, everybody clap. It was really super. Thank you very much. And now the judges have time to sit together and find out who's going to win the prizes. Please